Hey there guys, and welcome back to another video. And if you have seen the title and want like, more polymorphism, why? Don't worry, it's just going to be a tiny itsy bitsy bit of a polymorphism. I'm just going to demonstrate you the real power of polymorphism. So what I'm going to do for that is, I have defined a drive function in each of my class. In car class, I have just simply said this car drives. In SUV, I have declared a function says this car drives over anything. And in sports, I have declared a defined a drive function named drive and said that this car drives fast. So now, since I have defined how these car drives, I'm going to make a class named driver who is going to drive all these. The file already exists because I have created it already. Because this is not the first time I'm recording this video, yeah, something happened. So anyways, let's just get to this. I'm going to make a constructor, not constructor, I'm just going to make a function public void drives car x as a parameter and x dot drive. So simply what it's going to do is, my driver is going to drive a car, okay? And when it drives a car, it's going to say x dot drive. So this car drives over anything, or this car just drives, or this car drives fast, right? So here's the power of polymorphism. Let me just move it over here. Since the SUV and the sports are inheriting from the car, and this is a car type, this car type can be either of SUV or of sports or of car, anything. And what basically I'm trying to say over here is, since this car can be of two different types, an SUV and in sports, due to the polymorphism which I demonstrated in the last video, this function will run for not only car but for SUV and sports as well. So this is the power of polymorphism, exactly this. If polymorphism was not here, what I would have to do is I would have to define a drives function named a drives car function as parameter and another function like this. And instead of now car x, I would have had to override this function by saying SUVX, and then similarly one more function for the sports sports car. So I would have to do sports. So if polymorphism was not here, even if I am inheriting these two classes with this, I would have to define three different functions for each of my three classes. But thank God polymorphism is here. I can do this with one function only, because this car data type can morph into its subclasses. So this car type can morph into an SUV or in sports as it requires. So how do we do that morphing? I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna just say a car sedan is equal to new car. So now the morphing part, Jeep. Now I'm going to morph this Jeep into the SUV. So that's how pretty much you morph. And this Lambo is going to be morphed into the sports car. And now we're going to call the drive function. We're going to make our driver first. And we're going to make that person drive each car one by one. Now he's going to drive a Jeep, and then finally he gets lucky and gets to drive a Lambo. Man, I want to drive a Lambo sometime soon. So what's going to happen over here is, this sedan is a car, right? This function is going to run as a parameter copies. So this x parameter first will be copied, and a copy of sedan will be created in the x parameter. So now sedan.drive will run basically, and sedan.drive will go into car because sedan is a type of car, and it's going to print this car drives. Okay, and then for this person.drives Jeep, this X is going to make a copy of Jeep variable in itself. So basically it's the same thing as writing X equal to Jeep. So Jeep.drive will run now, and since Jeep is an SUV, it will run the drive function in the SUV and going to say that this car drives over anything. And similarly for sports or for Lambo, X is going to be equal to Lambo now. Lambo.drive will run, and it's going to say this car drives fast. Don't believe me? Let me show you. Here we go. And the output is as I said, and you have to believe me now. So this is the power of polymorphism. You can have one superclass morphed into its subclasses and one function which can accept a superclass parameter, and since this superclass parameter can morph into anything, it's going to this parameter is also going to morph itself on the basis of parameters passed into it. Like for example, we are passing a sedan, which is basically a car type, so X will be equal to sedan, and now sedan.drive will run. And now we are going to pass a Jeep parameter, which is an SUV, which is morphed into an SUV. So now car X will be equal to Jeep, and since Jeep is an SUV, this car X is going to morph into an SUV. So it's going to be the same thing as the X.drive will now refer to the function SUV's drive, and it's going to call Jeep.drive, so it's going to call this drive function. And similarly for sports. So this is the power of polymorphism. If you don't get any of this or have any doubts, please leave it in the comment section below. I will be happy to help you guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.